So good day, I am Basco. So I am here to discuss my topic. So we are course our our course are seamanship 3 to 5. So we are in prelim week 4 session 1. So the topic is to discuss or enumerate the proper procedure or sequence in mooring and anchoring. So the course outcome, so it is to understand the proper procedure and execution of mooring and anchoring operation. So learning outcome. So at the end of the session, the student shall be able to determine the importance of anchoring and mooring operation on a vessel. So importance of the topic. So it is suggested the use of radar parallel indexing technique, an effective tool in maneuvering approach to anchoring position. A fixed reference point is necessary in establishing the intended anchoring position relative to this fixed point. So if it does not engage properly on the chain, then it is to be lowered across the chain as far as possible and lashed down in this position in such a manner that if the cable does slip, the bar will fall into place across the chain. So it is of a great importance when conducting any mooring operation to follow specific steps to ensure the safety of all those conducting the operation. So mooring. So mooring is a procedure to anchor the ship to a fixed or floating element and keep it connected during loading or unloading operations. So safe mooring must withstand several forces such as wind, the current, the tide, and waves. So as verb refers to the act of attaching a vessel to a permanent structure to which a vessel may be secured, including quays, wharfs, jetties, piers, and anchor buoys. So here are the proper procedure in mooring. So first is don't allow any extra crew member on the deck. So ensure that no extra personnel are present at the mooring station, except those who are involved in the operation. So anyone who is not assisting in the mooring operation must be asked to leave the mooring station for his or her and other safety. So consider weather condition. Next is consider weather condition. So before planning the mooring operation, consider the weather condition by taking factors such as wind and current. So the ship's master and responsible officer must have the details of current and future weather data before commencing the mooring operation. So next is have knowledge of snapback zone and rope bite. So all personnel involved with the mooring operation should be aware of the snapback zones and rope bite. So next is to check all the mooring equipment. So check all the equipment, mooring, winch, drums, windlass, and etc. So in the mooring operation for any kind of problem, so proper routine maintenance is the key to ensure smooth running of mooring equipment and its systems. So next is check the tail of mooring line. So if the mooring wire line is provided with tail, short lengths of synthetic fiber rope which are placed in series with the vessel's which mounted wires to decrease mooring line stiffness and thus to reduce peak line loads and fatigue due to vessel motion. So ensure same size and material of tails are used for all lines in the same service. So these are the breast, spring, and headlines. So different tail size and materials would lead to uneven load in the mooring line. So next is the 10-1 line at a time. So only one line should be tended at a time during mooring operation. So if this is not done, it may increase the load in the other tended lines. So if two lines are tended together, it may lead to overloading and breakage. So follow the orders of the master or responsible ship officer properly to avoid any kind of mishap. So next is keep a check on the mooring line load. So ensure that the allowable braking load in any of the mooring lines does not increase 55% of its maximum braking load. So this is to prevent the line from breaking. So next is avoid mixed mooring. So mixed mooring is extremely dangerous. Generally, mooring lines of the same size and material should be used for all leads. If this is not possible due to the available equipment, all lines in the same service, i.e. breast lines, spring lines, and headlines and stern lines should be of the same size and material. So the use of mixed mooring comprising full-length synthetic ropes used in conjunction with wire should be avoided. So if a synthetic rope and wire are used in the same service, the wire will carry almost the entire load while the synthetic rope carries practically none. So next is keep a continuous check. So load on the mooring lines must be checked continuously even after the mooring operation is over. So if there is any change in the ship's ballast condition, the lines must be slack or tightened accordingly. So the condition of the rope material should also be checked to foresee unfortunate accidents. So next is arrange mooring lines symmetrical. So all mooring lines must be arranged as symmetrical as possible with the breast line. So the breast line should be perpendicular to the longitudinal center line of the ship, and the spring line should be parallel to the longitudinal center line. So here are the proper sequence in mooring. So number one, use appropriate lines. So choosing the ideal mooring lines depends on local factors such as the water depth, the tidal range, and wave energy, as well as on the material the mooring lines are constructed from. So the combination of both the material and the conditions where a vessel is to conduct its mooring operation play a crucial role for the operation to be fruitful. So when acquiring new mooring lines, it is vital to report them and know their exact position on the vessel. So this can be easily achieved by keeping a log in which you may include the position for each line on board, manufacture date, date of first use on board, and hours under tension. So number two is set an inspection system. So inspection and maintenance should be conducted strictly according to the manufacturer's instructions. So and be carried out by an expert. So in that case, the vessel has the chance to request for third-party assistance. So in addition, under the possibility that any damaged or defective or unserviceable piece of mooring equipment is found during inspections, it must be taken out of service and be either replaced or repaired. So number three is plan operation. So another step to be taken prior to beginning the operation, it is to exactly plan the procedure, creating a mooring plan based on mooring position, the area, and the environmental condition. Also, the plan should be clear on the number of the lines that are going to be used in mooring, and the crew in charge of the operation should assess the situation. So number four is toolbox meeting. So the toolbox meeting is a crucial step not to be avoided, as those participating will in detail analyze the plan, the potential challenges, and what mitigation and measures will be followed. So moreover, the meeting will provide safety instructions for those who will conduct the operations. So in case of emergency, they will be able to handle the situation and highlight that all mooring area is a snapback hazardous area, meaning that all crew should be extra cautious during mooring. So number five is execute preparation. So following the preparations, the plans, and the alerts of the risk of mooring, the time has come when the crew has to provide the lines to shore party. So during the operation, it is vital to always have in mind hazards and provide clear instructions to all parties so that everyone is aware of their exact place and responsibility. So keep in mind that communication is the key during operations, as all parties should follow orders and be informed during the execution of mooring. So in case of an abnormal situation, if something seems out of the plan, the crew members have to report it so that it is rapidly handled and any potential accident is prevented. So the last is the post-operation activities. So after the vessel is safely moored and secured in a place, the crew members have to secure all lines, put everything back in place as housekeeping is essential on board a vessel, and then carry out the debriefing of a team. So during the debriefing, the safety officer should debrief the crew, referring to all stages of execution, as the crew should have regular follow-ups on what they could improve in the operation. So the debriefing additionally gives room for additional discussions on safety issues that were detected during mooring operation. So next topic is anchoring. So it is to attach to a ship or boat by a cable or chain and lowered to the seabed to hold the vessel in a particular place by means of a fluke or pointed projection that digs into the sea bottom. So it is a operation that our planning consists of information, instructions, and actions that contribute to a procedure for maneuvering the vessel to the designated anchor position and successfully anchoring in a safe, seaman-like manner, taking the prevailing weather conditions and sea state into consideration. So here are the proper procedure in anchoring. So planning for anchoring. So number one is the master shall identify a suitable anchoring position before entering the anchorage area. So number two, conduct a planned approach including speed reduction and ample time in orienting the ship's head prior anchoring. So number three, decide on which method of anchoring to be used and the number of shackles depending on the depth of water, expected weather, and holding run. So number four, the chief officer or another experienced officer in lieu must supervise letting go or weighing the anchors and should only assign experienced crew members to anchor work. So the chief officer should be aware of approximate anchoring position, method of approach, which anchor to use, depth of water, method of anchoring, and final amount of cables. So planning for anchoring at the forecastle. So number one, check brakes are on and clear the voyage securing devices such as anchor lashings, bow, compressed bar, etc. Start hydraulic source of power of windlasses. Number two, check the anchor shape or light. Check communication. Number three, check communication with the bridge. Number four, check lighting on forecastle, including torch at nighttime. So number five, ensure all personnel are wearing safety helmets, safety shoes, and goggles. So before letting go anchor, so the chief officer shall confirm that there is no crack or any obstacles under the bow and inform to the bridge. The master shall ensure that the vessel's ground speed at the time of anchoring is near zero or indicates a slight sternway. So the speed should be verified by visual transits and all radar range of landmarks, if available, or other fixed conspicuous targets. Number four, so where means of communication between bridge and the anchoring party is by portable radio. The identification of the ship should be clear to avoid misinterpretation of instructions from other users of such equipment in the vicinity. So routine anchor operation, so method one, so it is preferable for container ships depths up to 50 meters. So number one, hook up the anchor to half a shackle above the sea bottom. Number two, hold the cable on the brake and take the windlass out of gear. So number three, stop the vessel over ground. Number four, drop the anchor. Number five, control the speed of cable flow by the brake while not allowing pile up. So number six, bring anchor cable direction forward and confirm anchor holds its position. So method two, so it is suggested for tankers and depths over 50 meters. So number one, stop the vessel over ground. Number two, walk out the anchor under power until the complete length of required cable is paid out, and anchor holds its position on the seabed. So number three, bring anchor cable direction forward and confirm anchor holds its position. So that's all for my topic. Thank you.